Da-na, 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 da-na. Hello, YouTubers, diecast collectors, movie fanatics. For once, we have another movie review. I know it's been quite a while since our last movie review, but don't be a bunch of dummies. Watch this one, because this is my review of the 1/18th scale Sanford and Son truck by Greenlight. Alright guys, let's check it out. Alright, so to begin with, it has been a bit since I have done a movie car review. I apologize for the long absence. I don't usually like taking apart my displays, but I've been in the mood to do some reviews lately because it seems like our last Colonel Square Body really got some good viewership. So if you haven't seen the M2 Machine Square Body, go check that out. But for now today, let's focus on this really, really cool rusted out hunk of junk from the one and only Red Fox's show. Because if you don't watch this, you're going to get 5 across your lip. Alright. So, starting with the outside, we have a really nice rusty looking paint job. You can just see the care and the work Greenlight put into this. I really think they did an excellent job on the weathering. I don't normally say this. Now, most Greenlight models, as I'm sure most of y'all know, are usually just the doctored up American Muscle / Ertl castings. I'd probably do not really know who originally made this casting. I can tell you right now there weren't pictures of a new tooling being made for this. So Greenlight does tend to repop a lot of older model companies' same toolings and stuff. They seem to own the rights to quite a few older toolings. So anyway, I think this is probably an Ertl, and a lot of what they redo is some of the older Ertl molds that I think Auto World doesn't really do. So they do repop a lot of the American Muscle molds. Sorry, I hate to get on that soapbox, but very nice rusted exterior. I love the way they've done this front bumper. You can actually feel there are actual spots where it seems like, yeah, they actually did make this really actually rusted. Like you can feel where there's actually rust right here, which is pretty cool. And, you know, these are actual like parts where they took either a scraper, did the paint. Looks very cool. So, very impressed with this exterior finish that they've actually laid on here pretty well. Of course, there are headlights in the front. Honestly, I think this truck is going for quite a bit of money now, knowing the amount of, I'm sure it's a good amount. Anyways, it's got, from what you can see, I think it's chrome trim here, but it's plastic trim technically, so it's not chrome. Rubber tires, like you'd expect in a 1/18th. Got your plastic side handles. So, a few plastic parts here. I would just be careful because it's going to look like some of these are metal. Just, you know, careful not to knock a lot of this off. So, some really well done tires. I don't think, yeah, no working suspension, of course, working steering, unlike the Colonel Square Body I'd reviewed, which I do wish that it had working steering. Of course, there's no side view mirrors, which obviously this is a junk truck from what you can tell. Got your rear marker lights, license plate, obviously accurate. There's a spare tire underneath here, and it's pretty well done. So pretty cool. This is an actual, like, not the same color. Tailgate, believe it opens. Just don't want to force it. There we go. Tailgate opens, of course, as expected on a actual truck. Here's the bed, which is rusted. There's actually a rust spot right there they've done. So they actually did a pretty good job taking a crack at this model, honestly. I'm trying to get the tailgate in place. I don't want this flapping about, sorry. Having a bit of operator difficulties here. go. Got it. Perfect. Okay, so that's the tailgate, and that's actually rusted. You can see a Ford logo in here if you look real close. The Ford logo is there, of course, rusted over. All in all, the paint job, the Greenlight does a good job with accuracy. 99.9% of the time, they usually nail. Sometimes they nail it. Sometimes there are some inaccuracies. I don't know enough of the show to really tell you because I haven't seen the inside of the truck enough. But the exterior, as far as that goes, Greenlight dead on nailed this. From what I've seen in some of the show, I've watched Sanford a little bit, and I've watched one episode of Sanford and Son, and I absolutely think it's hilarious. So if you haven't seen it by now, pause this video and go familiarize yourself with Red Fox and his wisecracking band of his wisecracking buddy, not band, his wisecracking buddy, and all the people on there. It's hilarious. Just go check it out. You won't be disappointed. All right, so anyway, like I said, they got the running boards with the dust, and it's just super cool. All right, so we're going to go on to the interior here. We're going to go to the driver's side first. And on the inside, they have the seat done up. I think there's some kind of, it looks like there's actually a cooler down there. I don't exactly know what that is. If I had lighting, I could actually see it better. The door panels are done, which is nice. So they did a good job. I actually got the kind of old school, not old school, but kind of like the same color on the outside as the inside. So looks like either down there is an old school AC unit or something. I don't know exactly know. There's a little white box. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, see, there's like a little white thing underneath here you can see, but I have no idea what that is. All right. So, and they actually, like I said, very good job on the inside. Let's zoom out a little. So you can see that there's actual gauges and stuff. They actually did the dashboard pretty well. Just so you know, don't expect carpeting because there is none in here. So there's no carpeting. The hinges are very solid, which I would probably expect that from a model where the hinges hadn't been opened a whole lot. And these hinges are dummy hinges. Anyway, so here's the inside. They get pedals. Yes, I believe the steering wheel does work with the steering, which is real nice to see. Of course, the seats are plastic. They're not like a soft touch vinyl like you see on a lot of the more high-end models. Of course, this is not going to be your like typical super high-end model that you see. But they did do a good job with the interior for sure. I don't know how accurate it is on the real one, but they did a pretty good job on it. Yeah, so far, honestly, not a bad model from what I'm seeing. All right, so on to the engine compartment. And they've done a good job with this. And here's where it's a dead giveaway from where this is kind of a doctored up American muscle casting. Kind of the engine bay. But of course, you can see they actually did do a couple things to where they painted the flathead covers. They did paint the battery, which it's not just a plain black one, which usually in an Ertl interior, you don't usually see this kind of paint work done. So Greenlight does kind of do some liberties with doing the paints on the motor bay. Now, I'm not going to knock the fact that they don't do a whole lot of new toolings for their 1/18th line, because doing those is kind of expensive. So it's been a while since I have actually seen. I haven't really ever seen an OG 1/18th Greenlight tooling. So you can tell me in the comments down below if there's actually any real toolings that Greenlight's done up with 1/18th, or if you just think a lot of them are repops, because I personally think they're usually 9 times out of 10. Because, as I said before, I'm not going to get on my soapbox too much about it, but it seems like the 32 Ford by Gas Monkey was probably a Motor Max from what my buddy said. Anyway, so the underside, like I said, this is kind of where the giveaway is. And what do you know? It actually says, I was wrong. It's a welly. So you can see on, you can actually see on the base where that says welly. So this is actually a redone welly casting. So Greenlight did put its name on. I was off, and I apologize because, see, this is exactly what Greenlight does do. They take repops of castings. It's not a bad thing necessarily, because I will say this is a pretty solid casting to do this truck on. Even the exhaust pipe is actually painted underneath it here, and the spare is done up. And, you know, I indeed don't mind them taking liberties with certain castings. It's nice that they're doing their own thing with them. But not much about the underside to say here. However, I kind of wish they'd given the oil pan somewhat of some road wear. Could have benefited underneath from some grime. But other than that, pretty cool. But I think this is like your regular run-of-the-mill 1/18th Greenlight, nothing like super high-end, so I wouldn't be expecting a whole lot of underside detail here. Alright, so now, been about 10 or 11 minutes, which is what most of my reviews run, and I'm sorry for the long run time. So now, people are probably wondering, what do I give this model? Personally, I like all the accuracies. I like all the liberties they took, and the fact that sets this thing over the top is this is a Sanford and Son truck, which it just makes it so cool. Because I have seen some of the series, and I love Red Fox's character. So, my opinion, don't be a big dummy and not buy this model. It is very cool. If you're in the market for one of these, eBay will have them. I don't think Diecast Models Wholesale is going to have them. You're going to have to go about the secondary market now to pick one of these up. But it is a super cool model. If you're looking for one, I would definitely say go ahead and grab it. Because you won't be disappointed if you love the show. For what they did on the exterior, that's enough to give me this a full rating. I would say I give this a full 10 out of 10. They did a good job. Maybe it could have benefited from a few extras, but of course, this being, you know, a redone welly casting, that leaves some limitations, but it's not bad. Since Greenlight didn't have to tool up, you know, an entirely new truck, that would have made this cost like tons more money. And I know I'm kind of glossing over things somewhat, but honestly, you know, it's a nice effort on Greenlight's end. I definitely appreciate what they have done here. Now, what do I think this will be worth? Maybe I definitely think this whole Sanford and Son thing puts it over the top, so I think it's going to be worth some cash in the future. I just don't collect for resale. I collect just for me and strictly for me, but I absolutely think that this is an awesome model. And today I think we're going to do some reviews. We're definitely going to try to have some stuff hit today. I think today is a good day to kind of just sit down, do some stuff. So just remember to check out the channel. Make sure to leave me a like. Consider checking out the rest of my videos. And yeah, exactly. And don't be a big dummy. Buy this one. And remember, if it has to do with diecast, if it has to do with reviews, it has to be the J-Man 63. All right. Bye-bye.